Bangladesh stands on front lines of climate crisis, but what if some of the world's most powerful sustainable solutions are already being built by young people inside the vulnerable communities? As I mentioned, like it's some of the most powerful solutions are not coming from billion-dollar corporate or global summits. They are coming from young leaders, grassroots innovators, and communities building a change from the ground up. From eco bricks and vertical gardens to green infrastructure and youth led climate action, today's conversation explores what a truly energy transition could look like beyond uh, Bangladesh or in the Bangladesh. So, welcome to the Sustainability Side, the podcast where we explore sustainability, innovation, climate leadership, a real world impact shaping our future. I'm Dr. Sama, your host, and today's episode is especially important because we are diving into the intersection of climate justice, youth leadership, sustainable infrastructure, and community centered development in Bangladesh. Joining us today is Kora Hasan Evana, a passionate youth leader, sustainability advocate, and a development practitioner from Bangladesh. She serves as the Chief Administrative Officer of Engineers and Metaphor Sports, where she works on initiatives connecting engineering, sustainability, sports, and social development through practical community led solutions. We will be discussing how Bangladesh can build a inclusive and exclusable energy transition while addressing climate vulnerability, urban sustainability, and grassroots innovations. And joining us today, our lovely co-host, Miss Tamara, and from the Global Goals Collection. This is
Hello, hello.
amazing. This is amazing. Like we have
Yep.
this, alliance going together. So together we'll all explore how youth innovation and green infrastructure can shape resilience, communities, and sustainable futures together. With a short intro, we'll go into the session.
Sing it loud, let's unite on the sustainability side. Feel the love day and night. Let's turn the tides, make a change today. Together we define our sustainable way with every step we take. We rise and glow on the sustainability side. Let the give us flow. Sounds good.
Welcome back, both of you, Miss Kora and Tamara. How are you feeling today?
Great to
Yeah,
be here. I am so with our new guest.
Awesome. So I would like to start with this question to Ms. Kora. Bangladesh is highly vulnerable to climate change. We all know that. But from your perspective, what does just energy transition truly means, and what does it look like for developing nations like Bangladesh?
well, thank you so much for having me on the sustainability side. It is truly a pleasure to join this important conversation alongside Tamara and the team. Professionally, I am an engineer. I am speaking not only as an engineer, but also from my experiences working in education, development, child rights, sustainability programs, and now as an administrative leadership. Over the years, I have worked as a lecturer, a youth development trainer, and also as a child rights officer in vulnerable communities like Cox's Bazar, Bangladesh. That is the most lucrative place to be visit for, as well as very much vulnerable area because the longest sea beach of the world is in Cox's Bazar, Bangladesh. That's why where I could directly witness how climate vulnerability, poverty, displacement, and social challenges are deeply interconnected. After that, while I had experience on doing just energy transition initiatives as a program manager, which gave me the opportunity to understand sustainability not only from a technical perspective, but also from social, economical, and policy perspectives. Currently, I am serving as the co founder and chief administrative officer of Metaphor Engineers and Sports, where I basically administrate and follow up the works on construction, interior solutions, and sports field development in Bangladesh. And this is where I believe sustainability must become practical and integrated into everyday infrastructure. So let her come to the point. What is climate and what's energy transition in perspective for Bangladesh? So before that, we have to dive into Bangladesh. Bangladesh is a country of rivers, agriculture, culture, and an incredibly hardworking young populated country. Despite being a developing nation with limited resources, Bangladesh has made remarkable progress in economic growth, women's empowerment, disaster management, and community based development over the years. One of our strongest point is resilience. People in Bangladesh continuously adapt to floods, cyclones, rising temperatures, environmental challenges with creativity and determination. According to the Global Climate Risk Index, Bangladesh has repeatedly been identified as one of the most climate vulnerable nations due to floods, cyclones, sea level rise, and extreme weather events. Not only that, it has been said that, according to the World Bank, climate change could significantly affect Bangladesh's economy, livelihoods, migration patterns, and food security. This is why I believe Bangladesh represents both. One is a warning about climate vulnerability, and another one is powerful example of resilience, adaptation, and community-driven sustainability. So, as this is the most vulnerable to climate change, Bangladesh needs energy transition, but in a way that should be justice. That's it. Thank you.
Some foods don't just fill you, they heal you. Ancient grains, timeless nutrition, crafted for today. From heritage rice, noodles to wholesome flakes and pasta, every grain is a step towards better health. Because wellness isn't a trend, it's a way of life. Nelegum. Eat like your roots intended.
That's beautiful. So, continuing that, I have another question. Like many people talk about sustainability at a policy level, but your work focuses on community centered solutions. So, what is the grassroots action is that is so important in the climate resilience as we were talking about it?
Well, thank you for the question. This question is very much important because grassroots action is extremely important because communities are always been very much powerful and always been the first responders to climate challenges. You can see that policies can always be made nationally, but implementation happens always locally. So in Bangladesh, we often see communities adapting creativity with limited resources, whether it is rooftop gardening, local waste management, water conservation, or community awareness. These actions directly improve resilience. From my experience, I have seen that one major challenge is that many people still think sustainability is only an environmental issue, but actually, it is also connected to public health, youth employment, urban development, sports facilities, mental well being, social stability, and so on.
Thank you, Tamara, for bringing this question. Well, you have mentioned a few works of us, but I would like to mention that Metaphor Engineers and Sports is our setup in Bangladesh. Rather than only discussing about sustainability theoretically, we actually aim to implement practical and scalable solutions through real projects. Our work focuses on sustainable architecture, construction, infrastructure, landscaping, climate responsive design solutions. We also experience the interior designs with eco friendly products, swimming pools, boundary walls, road construction, elevation treatment, textured wall, fair faced concretes, cotton steel applications, sustainable landscaping, etc. We also work on vertical gardening, eco bricks, retrofitting, rammed earth house, and environmentally conscious urban solutions that actually integrate aestheticism with sustainability. Even in sports and recreational sector, we provide field development solutions using both of artificial turf technology and natural field solutions, as artificial turf technology has more durable options in regarding of turfs and player safety, as well as a bit less pricey with comparison with hybrid technology. That's why still now it's very popular in Bangladesh, even in the world. But we are planning to incorporate hybrid technology approaches to adapt climate resilience in the sports sector as well. And another thing I need to mention that Metaphor Engineers and Sports, that's the only organization in Bangladesh that has been certified by FIFA Good Setup Turf Projects in Bangladesh. Well, among all of these, our projects often incorporate local inspired and eco-friendly concepts, including traditional Bangladeshi cooling reed mat like Sheetal Party in Bangladesh, we used to say, craftsmanship, and some natural material applications. So, beyond construction and design, we actively support youth innovation, collaborate with sustainable environmental initiatives, and promote community centered climate action in order to have practical and scalable solutions. Among the solutions we have worked on, I believe that the biggest impact in urban community from our works actually combines retrofitting green infrastructure, climate responsive urban solutions, as well as just energy transition concept in sports fields, academy as establishment, and so on. So retrofitting existing buildings can create immediate large scale impact because most of the buildings already depend on aging infrastructure. By improving ventilation, energy efficiency, management, and thermal performances, cities can significantly reduce energy consumption, heat stress, and environmental impact without completely rebuilding structure. Well, at the same time, solutions like vertical gardening, sustainable landscaping, and green elevation treatments are essential for improving urban biodiversity, air quality, and urban cooling system. Well, our work also explores eco bricks, rammed earth concrete, fair faced concrete, textured wall, etc., which combine local materials, durability, and cultural identity with modern sustainable practices. So, actually, these kinds of things we are implementing for having a vision to combine engineering, sustainability, local heritage, green infrastructure, modern technology to create resilient, functional, and environmental responsible spaces for us and for the future. Thank you. Well, that's a very important question that you have asked. Actually, South Asia, it's one of the region that has largest demographic groups. Across countries like Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, Nepal, and Sri Lanka, youth-led movements are already influencing environment awareness, policy discussions, and community resilience. As youth leadership can play a transformative role in shaping sustainable development and policy in South Asia. Well, it has been known by all like developing countries like Bangladesh has very little impact on carbon emission as comparison with developed countries. So as we are not directly involved with these environment problems, still the people of Bangladesh, people of South Asia, actually passes through a miserable life in such cases. And young leaders often work with directly with vulnerable communities affected by floods, heat waves, cyclones, pollution, and displacement. Uh, Even in Bangladesh, it has been taken oath by the government, recent government, that solar system amount of solar system will be introduced within his period of democracy. Also, there are different kinds of volunteer groups, youth groups, different organizations are working in innovative solutions in renewable energy, waste management, sustainable agriculture, smart architecture, climate technology, yet innovation, lots of things. Actually, these all are happening for urban sustainability and resilience, of course. So, designing eco-friendly infrastructure to promoting circular economy practices, developing climate-smart agriculture to aware environmental issues from grassroots to policy level are going on in this Asia Pacific sector. Still, lots of work need to do on as just energy transition. These concepts are very strong but still not be developed in a way to be understood by the root level community, or the mobility happening in a country that actually was on dependence of agriculture, fisheries, on own area, that actually led into different kinds of different works that turned them to go out of their comfort zone and doing work in city. So decentralization is also very important for this. Again, social media campaign, the networking, school and university movements, community-based environmental actions, these are also very much important. And yes, these are also happening in South Asia, where actually climate awareness gaps still exist, but youth-led communication trying to do some local action. Yes, so we have some lack in institutional opportunities and all, but we have that resilience, and we are also going to cope and hoping for becoming one of nation that are not actually affected by climate problems directly without not so significant reasons.
I have a question which is like, what are the biggest barriers young innovators face when they're trying to implement all the sustainable practices in these developing countries, especially in Bangladesh?
Uh, Thank you, Tamara, for these wonderful questions. Yes, you have mentioned properly that there are lots of barriers faced by young innovators in developing countries like us. But at the same time, I have already been said that Bangladesh is a country where the main strength is its resilience. So, no matter what they face difficulties, still they try for do something for future, for own self, and for the society overall for Bangladesh. Yeah, and I believe that developing countries like us, other countries are also doing the same. And if we get into the data and news, we can also see the same, that yes, it's happening. But if I go specifically for the barriers, yeah, they face some major barriers. Like if I come on the first point, that would be limited access to funding, because it often said as the biggest challenge. Well, many young entrepreneurs are really wanted to do something, but at the same time they have high startup cost, it might be, and some investors cannot um, provide some good assessments or good duration, or the interest for high risk projects. So that's why they lack long term financial impact projects. Again, there are some difficulty to attract private investors. Even there are very few local green financing opportunity. And if I come in the second point, that could be a weak policy and regulatory support, because there is really lack of incentives for green businesses. Bureaucratic delay, that can be one of major problem in Bangladesh too. Yeah, corruption, political instability, those can also impact on this category. Again, if we say that there is basically limited mentorship and networking, technical skills are not up to that level, and infrastructure are also not in very good setup. So yeah, we really need some research institutions, fund from outside developed countries, and renewable energy infrastructure, technical training, so on. Again, if I can say, Tamara, there is limited mentorship management. That means the young innovators of developing countries, they actually lack of experience, mentors, international partnerships, business development support, professional networking, because without guidance, many promising projects fail during the implementation phase, even though without having into planning or idea stage. So yeah, this is really crucial thing to point on. Again, there is some social and cultural resistance, because not every people are very willing to get adapt with renewable energy. Again, they are very acquainted with traditional system, and the skepticism towards climate focused businesses are also another resistant, we must say. And yeah, there is a global power gap. International funding process are very complex, so local voices are not basically represented in global platform, so that's also be another obstacle. Yes, so if we can cluster these into different sections, there will be many, but it actually matters because despite these barriers, young innovators continue leading some good projects, climate education, waste management, sustainable agriculture, all around the world, because striving to achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals is one of important thing. So biggest opportunity now is creating stronger ecosystems. That could be youth leadership, climate finance, mentorship, inclusive policy making, and local community engagement. Yeah, that combination can turn small sustainability ideas into long-term systematic type of matter. Thank you so much. Yeah, working across sustainability, sports, youth engagement, and administration has shown us that these sectors are actually not separated. They are interconnected pillars of long term social development. Actually, besides this organization, I also had several experiences in youth engagement because I have been working as a lecturer in a university. Then I was in government specialized training program where I acted as instructor for youth development and engagement. And then I was working for child sector where I have been into vulnerable areas like Cox's Bazar, that that's the most beautiful city because Bangladesh has the longest sea beach in Cox's Bazar. At the same time, the most saline, the most problematic, vulnerable, educationally deprived, and so on region is Cox's Bazar. So I was working there with very close relationship with local region because I had to work for children. I was in charge of child rights of that region, and also I had experience in implementing just energy transition concept in RNG sector. As you know, Bangladesh has the most um, earning sources from RMG sector. So this sector is very crucial. With actually my expertise at Metaphor Engineers has been started while I was doing my education, because I was just intern over there, and I have learned meaningful impact when technical expertise is combined with social responsibility and strategies. And our work in sports infrastructure, particularly in stadium development, renovation projects in Bangladesh, actually demonstrates how sports can become a platform for broader sustainable development. We have been awarded for FIFA certification projects, as we had done with artificial turf projects, but after that we had opportunity for having making natural field projects for national stadium in Bangladesh. So this is not only the focus for technical execution, drainage system, field performance, but also ensuring durability, environmental efficiency, and long-term usability. So sustainable infrastructure actually reduces maintenance burdens, and of course it ensures resilience against Bangladesh's challenging climate conditions, and creates safe, high quality and space for future generation. Also, these projects are used for youth engagement, because this is the place where young people gather, grow discipline, build leadership, and develop teamwork. National play held on these places, so different kinds of people, different players coming across from all of the nation in Bangladesh. This is our proud thing to showcase our expertise over there. So of course, uh, these kinds of improved facilities inspire youth participation and create pathways for talent development as well. Again, our involvement through environmental and sustainability focused initiatives has also shown the importance of awareness building. It's either in between the biodiversity discussions, climate action conversations, just energy transition conversations, integrating greener solutions, or implementing this into engineering projects. Uh, yeah, so all those should be in a way that can support behavioral change. And young people are particularly responsive to these ideas and often become strong advocates for environmental responsibility when given the opportunity and platform. And finally, it comes on administration, because it is the bridge that makes all of this possible. From coordinating with governing bodies like sports federation, member associations, to handling project planning, compliances, communication, stakeholder management, and we have seen firsthand that impactful ideas and strong administrative system to become reality can happen by effective administration. It also ensures transparency, timely execution, resource optimization, alignment between vision and implementation. And we also have planned to implement hybrid technology in Bangladesh, where the initiative will be eco-friendly, or combining just energy transition, as in sports academy, where we can use solar panel for flood lighting, and eco-friendly products for the spectacular visitors, and engineering support, sports development, and a good structure that actually a complete project.
That's great. So, as we have come to the end, if today's conversation reminded us that sustainability is not only about policies, technologies, or government agreements, it's about people, communities, and courage to innovate locally or for greater good or global impact. So thank you, Ms. Kora Hasan Evana. You have explained and highlighted all the important points, and you have explained us how the youth leadership, community engagement, and practical green solutions can change a powerful dynamic, towards the climate resilience. Not only that, towards the development of the nations, and definitely talking about the sustainable development. As we continue discussing the future of energy transition and climate action, one thing becomes clear: meaningful change happens when communities are included, empowered, and inspired to lead. So, if
Yes.
people who are listening and watching us right now, if you enjoy this episode, make sure to subscribe to the Sustainability Side, Global Goals Connections, and our lovely Miss Ivana. We have her social media links in the description, or you can check it here so that you can follow her, get to know more about a lot. You can also follow us, the Sustainability Side, in YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and other streaming podcasts. Share this episode with the students, policymakers, government officials, sustainable professionals, and young change makers who cares about climate resilience and the sustainable future. And if you would like to join our growing sustainable community, go through the GGC and the sustainability side. Check the links in the description below, as I mentioned. So, last but not least, as I always say, sustainability is not mine, it's ours. So, let's take a step together to make a greater good. So, until next time, we'll meet
Right.
soon. Take care, stay tuned, and curious only on the sustainability side. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you. It
thank
was a
you.
very wonderful.
Feel the joy, let's unite. I'm missing